Hello team, this is Daniel from Steadfast Construction and Design, here to show Hello, this is Daniel Kennedy from Steadfast Construction and Design, here at the 7-bed HMO in Moseley. We're at the end of week 4. I'm just going to give you a pan of the street here, so you can see what kind of building and sort of vibe we deal with. We always find the properties that lend themselves to HMOs, and typically this one, these Victorian properties, although they don't look too big, they're actually very, very big on the inside. So let's go see what we've been up to this week. So it kind of looks like there's loads of liquid falling down the walls, but what that is SBR. So that's the liquid latex that we put prior to skimming, and it helps the plaster grip and it prevents it from cracking. So you can just sort of see it. It's going to be on all the walls, this. Coming into the first unit, not much has been done other than the client has now decided to have T stations. So all we're doing, we're adding extra sockets. Bit of a noise, but it can be done. And then we have all the wires for the fireboards. I've been told that I need to slow down because it's too fast. So we've got the fire alarm, and we're going to have pendants in here. So just a bit of an explanation for those of you who don't know. You see this little sort of protector, that is to prevent when people drill into the walls to put their lovely pictures up of their doggies and Airedales. That is to prevent them from hitting the wire and causing themselves harm. All right, let's go into the... Right, what you're looking at here, guys, is the arteries of the house. I mentioned this a few times in the videos. You've got to have 22mm hot, cold, flow and return, and that is to enable you to get enough water around the property. If you try and run multiple showers off a 15mm pipe instead of the 22, so here we have a lovely comparison. This is 15mm, so this pipe will be detached from this pipe. And so this one 15mm will feed the shower, and then a third 15mm will feed the sink, and then the second 15mm will feed the water. Obviously, we don't take hot to the toilet because you don't need hot water to flush a toilet, and who wants steam coming from the toilet? No one. So here we have the hot, the cold, the flow and return. Now, I don't know what this one is. I'll have to ask the plumber. And so they're responsible of getting all that hot water around the property. Yeah, so just make sure, it's just a point to note, you will have problems if you do not put 22mm in. And the 22mm pipe is vastly cheaper than the 15, so really sort of like tight builders will try and make a few pennies by putting in 15mm. How do I know this? Is because we've had a builder do it to us, and it was a complete nightmare. As you know, the butter-coloured nightmare that I call King's Heath. We had to redo all the bathrooms. Right, let's go into the kitchen. No, guys, this isn't a bomb site. This is just a Friday afternoon on a building site. So, as we walk into the kitchen, I'm going to pan round to the right. This is going to be our boiler room. So you can see all the pipes are being brought to the boiler. This is where everything will get heated up. This is where the gas will be brought to the property, and that just answers the question. That fourth pipe is gas. And then we'll have the tank here as well. So we keep it all together in a nice sound insulated room, so we're not disturbing the tenants, and the tenants can't mess with the controls. And then we have the thermostat on the outside, because landlords who prevent tenants from controlling the heat don't really understand that they're actually breaking the law. You have to give tenants access to the heating, or you set it at 21 and they can boost. So these are the two columns. I believe you were shown these last week. So we had to place these two columns with pad stones and steels, as you can see, to support that absolute behemoth of a chimney. So we built two columns, and all they are, the thermalite blocks and breeze blocks. So we could not leave this. This had to be done. All hands on deck, and we got it sorted. We've also had the plans back for the kitchen. So I'm not going to spoil your weekend and spoil the surprise. Now we're going into the rear unit. So again, we opted for something that's a little bit different. So thinking of the tenant experience, we didn't just have a door going into the kitchen, because it would be really, really noisy, especially with the washer and dryer. We're going to have that in the kitchen now as opposed to in its own separate room, just so we get more work surface for the tenants. So we've opted for this little corridor area so it can be a bit of a sound breaker, and that will allow the tenant to have a bit more privacy. And here is where the kitchenette is going to go, or tea station rather, is going to go for this unit. And if you're wondering why this is all red, this is not the naughty room. We have actually purchased, now that we're coming to winter, 2 infrared heaters. Because obviously time is money, and we're not in this business for charity, we're here to make money. So this is to help plaster dry. It's very, very unusual infrared because it only heats up water, so it won't heat up your clothes unless it's wet, but it does dry the plaster out. I'm not going to go in there because that's just like toilet. Now I'm going to take you outside and show you the lovely render and concrete work. So we've chopped down that tree as per the neighbour's request because we're good like that. And we've rendered this. You can see it's dry, it's blending in with the house. We bricked up that door, and then we've also put an inspection chamber that wasn't here previously. So that's kind of, if you want a HMO that's going to be like last for all time, not just your time, you need to do things like this because it's going to be very expensive to get rid of the blockages if you don't have an inspection chamber. So this enables people to, because tenants will put baby wipes down here and there will be blockages. You've just got to accept it. So what do? You plan for the worst and hope for the best. So this enables somebody to go in there with those really long hoses, blast whatever's there, get rid of the clog, and hopefully send it down to the sewer. So make sure you have an inspection chamber. Don't try and make these HMOs as cheap as possible, because if you're doing them, you're refurbing them for life, and they can be assets for you and your family and your children for generations to come if you do it right at the beginning. Right, now finally we shall go upstairs. We're going to make these stairs look so lovely again. Unfortunately, this detail is all going to be hidden under the carpet, but I really like the banister. You can see the woodwork. They really did care about their craft. So now you can see that as I turn around, the door frames are now in. So we're at that stage now, and we're bonding around the edges to ensure there's a smooth finish from the door to the door frame. We've also blocked this window up using many bricks of multicolours, just like Joseph's jacket. For those of you who aren't in English and didn't go to primary school, in England you won't get that reference. So remember, call points. So that is, if there was a fire in this room, we could rush out, hit the call point, and it would alert everyone else in the property. So here we have another kitchenette. The gentleman here who's putting in another plug for us kindly at late notice, so much obliged to him. Here we have the arteries again for the property. You can see, you know how I said everything needs to have 15 mil and not be running off 22. So we've got for the sink, and then you've got the hot, and then you've got for the toilet. And then this is where the shower is going to be. So what we like to do, just to ensure that it looks good, we have copper on show. This won't be on show because it'll be the shower, but just to give you a bit of an insight, copper looks much better than plastic. So we have copper coming out of the ground that's at eye level, and then we have speed fit at the rear. So there we have the two indents for the plugs that will be the T stations. This is a fantastic room. The size is going to get the landlord a premium price for the rental market. entering the loft unit. Look at this, isn't it glorious? It feels like you're in a vaulted hall. So you can see this line, this is where the original wall was. So this is how much space we've gained for the tenant. And essentially, we have doubled the floor space just by making use of the space in between the cheeks. And then we're going to have a little cupboard there, so that space isn't wasted. So the tenant's going to have a really fabulous unit here. And then of course we have, as per coined by Rob Hunter, the Catherine ensuite. And that is us for today. Right team, so that is the end of week 4. So we've been here for about 3 weeks and 3 days because we were still finishing bits and bobs off at the previous site. So now it's all hands on deck, we're smashing through this. And as I've learned, I'm not going to say we're going to be finished, however, because this is when everything gets ripped apart, everything gets skimmed, you see loads of progress, and then you hit the decorating stage and it just completely pauses because you need to get things right, and there's a lot of prep work that goes in. So it feels like it's going slow, but in fact, stuff that's being done is really, really important, so you can't skip or rush these things. So really, really happy. We've got the client on site now who's taking a look. He's been making a few decisions. We've been getting him involved, explaining the pros and cons. Again, you've watched a few of these now, I would hope, so you know what the standard's going to be like. And it takes away the stress and the choice from the client. So we're able to just say, we'll take care of it. This is what we will present you. This is what we'll get you. All the same, no different. So they know what they're getting, and it's a premium product. We know that it rents well because we've now got a history. So it's win-win. So we're not wasting time saying, do you want this? Do you want that? Do you want this? It's just straight in, straight out. We know what we're ordering. We can order it in advance. So this system, it really, really works. If you want to get involved, or you want to come and see these HMOs, I'll be running a development tour soon. Date to be confirmed. This will be the last one of the year before I head off for my holidays. So you'll get to see the 13 bed, 7 bed, the 14 bed, have a bit of a networking meeting as well because they're all in the same place. It'll be a really, really great opportunity for you to dip your toe in. If you're considering working with Steadfast Construction Design, what better way to come and get to know us than come and visit our sites, come and visit what we do, look at the systems that we have in place, make sure that we're a legit firm. And if you're thinking of getting in a HMO and you're a bit unsure of what to do, what steps, get in touch. I will take you from conception, design, purchase, plan, whatever you want to do. We can have a chat and I can help you out as a consultancy basis. And I've got lots of experience now. I've sorted the cog of planning in my sort of business, so I can bring that experience to you. And we can get you a HMO. But don't worry about saturation in the market, because products that Steadfast turn out, they get let like that. We're fully let. And we will continue to be fully let because there's a glut of HMOs, you're correct, but it's really, really dour, tired, ugly properties that landlords aren't reinvesting in. It's the management, like the HMO is only worth lots of money when it's managed well. So this isn't a fire and forget situation when you refurb. You have to be on top of your maintenance. You have to be on top of the tenant turnaround, making sure you're turning rooms around so it lasts longer than the typical HMO does. So it lasts 10 years instead of maybe the 4 or 5 before it starts to look tired. So have a long-term view. Come and see our projects. Wait for us, I implore you, because you know what you're going to get. You know it's going to be 100% viable, marketable, good product for the market. And there's no sort of, are they good builders, are they bad builders, will they? But it's not going to happen because we're thinking about the long-term prospect. We know that if you make more money, you'll come back to us and you'll say, right, I want to use Steadfast, they're my builders. We want to build that sort of loyalty to our clients and the clients to us. And we work together, we make money together, not from each other, but with each other. I'm actually in a bit of a weird situation because I'm looking at a window over the road. We're next door to a house and there's somebody looking in the window. So I'm going to leave now.